ZABoxingNation, where boxing lives, breathes, and breaks down. Boxing fans, the sport is on fire right now. Titles are shifting, new rivalries are boiling over, and the next wave of superstar matchups is being written as we speak. From Christian Mbilli and Jaime Munguia locking in negotiations for a highly anticipated war at super middleweight, to Virgil Ortiz Jr. catching heat for allegedly ducking Jerron Boots Ennis. The headlines are coming in hotter than ever. Meanwhile, Terence Bud Crawford continues to chase history, moving toward middleweight to become a sixth division, four-time undisputed world champion after conquering Canelo Alvarez and shaking up the entire sport. And we've got Ramon Cardenas looking to bounce back after a grueling fight with Inoue, the monster Inoue, as he prepares to face the tough Mexican contender Erik Robles live on ProBox TV this December. Plus, we'll close this with your favorite segment, On This Day in Boxing History. Let's break this all down. Terence Bud Crawford is officially super middleweight undisputed champion after dethroning Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's now 5-division, three-time undisputed. And now he's looking to move down to 160 to chase his sixth division and potentially becoming the first male fighter in history to be four-time undisputed champion across six divisions. Terence Bud Crawford is a switch hitter. He's seamlessly switched from orthodox to southpaw, creating angles to land punches while avoiding counter punches. His footwork is exceptional, constantly moving and controlling the range. Moving down to 160 won't diminish his power. Terence Bud Crawford historically carried knockout power across multiple weight classes, even all the way up to 168 pounds, where he just beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. At 160 pounds, potential opponents like Jermell Charlo, Arthur Beterbiev, Janabek, or Laura both are skilled, strong, and fight at a high pace. Terence Bud Crawford's counterpunching ability and ability to read fighters in real time will be crucial. If Terence Bud Crawford captures a sixth division title, he doesn't just add another belt. He cements himself as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, showing adaptability and mastery at multiple weights, and also becoming four-time undisputed. Expect Terence Bud Crawford to move down to 160 to reshape the middleweight landscape and send shockwaves through the division. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments below. Terence Bud Crawford looking to become sixth division, four-time undisputed champion. It's official. The WBC super middleweight picture is heating up. Christian Mbilli, the undefeated powerhouse from France, now sitting at 29 wins. 0 losses, 1 draw, with 24 big wins coming by way of knockout, is reportedly deep in negotiations to face Mexico's all-action brawler, Jaime Munguia, who holds a record of 45 wins, 2 losses, and 35 big wins coming by way of knockout. This matchup has Fight of the Year potential written all over it. 2 pressure fighters, both explosive, both in their primes, and both eyeing the most dangerous titles in boxing. A shot at the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The winner of Christian Mbilli versus Jaime Munguia would likely become the mandatory challenger for the WBC World Title, currently tied to the status of Terence Bud Crawford, who after defeating Saul Canelo Alvarez shook up the entire 168-pound division. Terence Bud Crawford is reportedly planning to move down to 160 pounds, chasing to become the first ever sixth division four-time undisputed world champion, an achievement that will be nothing short of historic. But for Christian Mbilli versus Jaime Munguia, this fight isn't about positioning, it's about validation. Christian Mbilli has been building a reputation as one of the most relentless offensive fighters in the sport. His pressure, power, and work rate have broken down nearly everyone in front of him. He's the kind of fighter who doesn't take a backward step. Every round, every punch is forward motion. He's a French bulldozer in gloves. Jaime Munguia, on the other hand, is a proven war veteran. He's gone to battle with elite names including Saul Canelo Alvarez, showing durability, heart, and the kind of combination punching ability that makes him one of Mexico's favorite warriors. Jaime Munguia is at a crossroads in his career. After tough losses, he needs this fight to show the world that he's still a top-tier threat at 168 pounds. If this fight gets finalized for early 2026, expect fireworks from opening bell. Stylistically, Christian Mbilli's constant forward pressure against Jaime Munguia's volume punching means that this could easily become a toe-to-toe war with little room for defense. Neither man likes to give up a round, which means fans are getting a guaranteed slugfest. And if Christian Mbilli pulls it off, he could position himself for the biggest fight of his life, possibly against Terence Bud Crawford himself, should Bud decide to return to 168 pounds after his middleweight run. Either way, this fight could reshape the future of both super middleweight and middleweight divisions heading into 2026. Let me know how you guys feel about this fight in the comments below. Christian Mbilli versus Jaime Munguia. Final major fight of 2025 is officially locked in and is flying a bit under the radar. On Friday, December 19th, live from War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, an all-action main event between Ramon Cardenas and Erik Robles. It's a 10-round super bantamweight fight airing on ProBox TV at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's the kind of fight that defines careers, especially when both men have something to prove heading into 2026. Erik Robles is 16 wins, 3 losses, and 9 big wins coming by way of knockout. For Ramon Cardenas, this fight is about redemption, reputation, and momentum. The San Antonio native earned massive respect earlier this year after his hard-fought fight with Inoue, the monster Inoue, arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter ever in the sport. Even though Cardenas came up short, he showed world-class composure, durability, and a level of skill that had many fans saying that he belongs at the elite level. Not to mention he also dropped Inoue, the monster Inoue. Now he's taking on Erik Robles, a rugged, come-forward Mexican with a deep amateur background and an iron chin. Erik Robles isn't a household name yet, but make no mistake, he's dangerous. With a record of 16 wins, 3 losses, and 9 big wins coming by way of knockout, Erik Robles comes to fight every time around. He thrives in high-volume exchanges, he's comfortable in the pocket, and he has that signature Mexican fighting spirit that makes him relentless from bell to bell. This fight is fascinating stylistically. Ramon Cardenas is a smooth, composed boxer, a rhythm fighter who likes to work behind the jab, pivot off angles, and break opponents down with intelligent combinations. He uses timing and accuracy more than raw power. And he's one of those guys who can frustrate brawlers with movement and shot placement. Erik Robles, on the other hand, is chaos personified. He wants to close the distance, smother you, and make it ugly. He has a spectacular body punching ability, particularly the left hook downstairs, and he's willing to take 2 to land 1 if that means dragging you into deep waters. If Ramon Cardenas allows this to become a brawl, he's playing right into the fire. But if he can stay disciplined, keep the fight at mid-range, and counter when Robles overcommits, this could be a showcase performance for him leading into the title competition in 2026. One major question heading into this matchup is how much the Inoue, the monster Inoue fight took out of Ramon Cardenas. Even though he looks strong, facing a fighter of Inoue Inoue's power and precision can mentally and physically drain a boxer. For Erik Robles, the question is whether if he can maintain his volume punching ability over 10 rounds without fading. Because once he slows down, Ramon Cardenas' accuracy and ring IQ will take over. For Ramon Cardenas, this fight could launch him right back into world title talks. He's sitting outside the top 10 in most rankings, and a dominant win would put him in position for major fights in 2026, possibly against somebody like TJ Doheny or Reis Alim. For Erik Robles, this is the biggest opportunity of his career. A win over Ramon Cardenas could change everything. It could take him from being a tough Mexican gatekeeper to a legitimate contender on the world stage. Both men know what's on the line. That's why fans expect fireworks. This fight might not headline a pay-per-view, but stylistically, it's guaranteed action. Two proud warriors, two contrasting styles, and one clear message. The winner is coming for the world title shot next. Let me know how you guys feel about this fight in the comments below. Ramon Cardenas versus Erik Robles. Now, for your favorite segment, on this day in boxing history. On November 11th, 2000, Lennox the Lion Lewis defended his WBC, IBF, and IBO heavyweight titles against David Tua at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. David Tua came in with the reputation as one of the most feared punchers in the world. Short, explosive, and built like a tank. But Lennox Lewis reminded everyone that skills beat power every time. Lennox Lewis used his jab like a laser, controlling the distance, keeping David Tua on the outside, and never allowing him to close the gap. Round after round, Lennox Lewis dictated the pace, showing why he was one of the most technically gifted heavyweights in the history. David Tua tried to press forward, but Lennox Lewis' footwork and ring IQ were too much. By the end, it was a shutout, unanimous decision, all in favor of Lennox Lewis, who barely lost a round. That night, Lennox Lewis didn't just beat a puncher, he disarmed one. It was a masterclass in discipline and strategy, proving why Lennox Lewis belongs amongst the all-time greats. Let me know how you guys feel about all of that in the comments below. But that wraps up all my segments for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on an update. But this is ZABoxingNation, where champions get analyzed and legends are made. And if you're new here, keep your hands up, and I'll catch you in the next one.